My name is Allison Carter. Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking.
Could new testimony be the key to uncovering the truth behind Ally Carter's disturbing claims? As fresh witness and victim statements emerge, they shed light on the troubling story involving Sean Diddy Combs. Let's dive into the latest updates and what this means for the entertainment industry. Ally Carter's story is as disturbing as it is compelling. She alleges that she was a victim of underage trafficking, drugging, physical abuse, and psychological manipulation, all orchestrated by individuals within the entertainment industry. According to Carter, these acts weren't isolated or random, but part of a larger, systemic pattern involving elite gatherings where exploitation was rampant. The promises of fame and opportunity lured her into a world that quickly turned into a nightmare. She claims that once inside, she was trapped in a cycle of fear and dependence, unable to break free without risking severe retaliation. Have you ever considered the immense psychological toll on victims who come forward with such harrowing stories? Speaking out doesn't just expose a person to public scrutiny, it forces them to relive their trauma, often in the most public and painful ways. For years, many survivors, like Ally Carter, carry the burden of their experiences silently, fearing judgment, retaliation, or disbelief. When they finally choose to share their stories, it's not about attention or revenge, it's about reclaiming their voice and seeking justice. Ally's courage is a testament to her strength, but it also highlights the personal cost of pursuing accountability against someone so powerful. Carter's story began to gain attention when she shared her experiences publicly, sparking conversations on social media and beyond. What makes her testimony especially chilling is the corroboration from other alleged victims who have come forward with similar accounts. Witnesses have described secretive parties where power dynamics were exploited to manipulate and harm vulnerable individuals. These accounts paint a picture of a system designed to protect the powerful while silencing those who dare to speak out. What happens when one victim speaks up? Often, it creates a ripple effect, encouraging others to share their stories and provide a fuller picture of the abuse. In Ally Carter's case, other testimonies have emerged, revealing similar experiences and patterns of manipulation. This collective courage strengthens the case and shows that the issue is far bigger than one person. However, it also illustrates how challenging it is to build a narrative of truth against a powerful figure. Each survivor faces unique barriers, and their stories often only gain traction when others stand beside them. But why is Sean Diddy Combs at the center of these allegations? Carter, along with others, has named Combs as a key figure in these exploitative practices. Another accuser, Adria English, has also come forward alleging that Combs coerced her into engaging in non-consensual acts at parties characterized by heavy drug and alcohol use. English claims these events, dubbed freak-offs, were part of a larger pattern where young women were groomed and manipulated under the guise of advancing their careers. Both Carter and English described similar methods of control, manipulation, isolation, and fear used to maintain dominance over their victims. Sean Combs' response mirrors what we've seen in other high-profile cases. His legal team dismisses the allegations as baseless attempts to profit off his fame, a common strategy for deflecting attention from the details of the claims. But these tactics often fail to address the consistent patterns described by multiple accusers. Instead, they focus on discrediting individuals, relying on the legal and cultural power dynamics that make it difficult for survivors to achieve justice. Combs has denied all allegations, calling them baseless in an attempt to exploit his celebrity status for financial gain. His legal team has consistently dismissed the claims, framing them as opportunistic attacks on his reputation. Despite his denials, these allegations have led to civil lawsuits and even criminal investigations, including federal inquiries into possible sex trafficking. Whether or not these claims hold up in court, they have already raised important questions about power, accountability, and the systems that enable abuse. The entertainment industry operates like a fortress, where wealth and influence create layers of protection around its stars. Think of it as a castle with multiple moats, each moat representing a barrier victims must cross to make their voices heard. These barriers include powerful legal teams, public relations experts, and fan loyalty, all of which can be weaponized to discredit accusers. For victims like Ally Carter, this makes speaking out incredibly daunting. Many fear being labeled as liars, opportunists, or worse, while the sheer emotional toll of reliving their trauma adds another layer of difficulty. One common question people have is why victims often wait years or even decades to come forward. The answer lies in the power dynamics at play. Imagine being a young, vulnerable person up against a wealthy, influential figure who can easily discredit you or ruin your career. Add to that the societal stigma and the fear of not being believed, and it becomes clear why many choose to stay silent. Victims also describe psychological manipulation that leaves them feeling trapped, isolated, and powerless. Ally Carter's story fits this pattern, making her decision to speak out all the more courageous. Are there misconceptions about this story? Absolutely. One myth is that victims come forward for attention or money. In reality, the process of speaking out is often painful, risky, and met with backlash. Another misconception is that fame protects individuals from wrongdoing. On the contrary, fame can act as a shield, allowing powerful figures to control narratives and evade accountability. Carter's story challenges these myths, shedding light on the struggles victims face in their pursuit of justice. Let's step back and consider the broader implications. Ally Carter's allegations aren't just about one individual, they point to systemic issues within the entertainment industry. This isn't the first time we've seen such cases. Think of Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, and Bill Cosby, whose allegations also revealed long-standing patterns of abuse. These cases have exposed flaws in the legal system, the role of non-disclosure agreements (NDAs) in silencing victims, and the cultural normalization of predatory behavior. Carter's story is a continuation of this reckoning, reminding us that the fight for accountability is far from over. What does this mean for the music industry? For one, it highlights the need for better safeguards to protect vulnerable individuals. The industry must address its power imbalances, which allow predators to exploit their influence unchecked. Public outrage and activism can play a powerful role here, pushing for reforms and amplifying the voices of survivors. However, the challenge lies in ensuring that this momentum leads to lasting change rather than fading into temporary outrage. The legal process in cases like this is both complex and crucial. Investigators must gather evidence, evaluate testimonies, and look for patterns that corroborate the allegations. Witness statements are especially important, as they can provide a fuller picture of the events in question. However, the credibility of these testimonies often comes under intense scrutiny, with defense teams attempting to poke holes in their accounts. Forensic evidence, digital records, and other forms of documentation can also play a key role in building a strong case. Ultimately, all evidence must be carefully examined to ensure a fair and just outcome. Over time, public perception of these cases has evolved. When the Me Too movement gained traction, it marked a turning point in how society views allegations of abuse, particularly against powerful figures. Survivors are now more likely to be believed and supported, though challenges remain. Historical cases have shown that while legal outcomes vary, the cultural impact of such allegations can be profound, forcing industries to reckon with their complicity. The question now is, will society rise to the challenge, or will these revelations be forgotten in the face of the next headline? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our latest updates.